My name is Maggie McGill. My husband Mike and I have been members of St. Timothy's since we moved to the Des Moines area in 2005. We have 3 kids who are lucky to be growing up in this community. Both Mike and I grew up with church being an integral part of our lives, Methodist for him, Episcopal for me. So we always knew that we wanted to give our kids the same experience. We chose St. Timothy's because even though I had never lived in Des Moines, my parents were married at St. Timothy's in 1977. So I grew up with a photo of that brick wall always hanging in my home, and it felt very familiar and comfortable to come here. We've loved raising our kids in this community, and all 5 of us have made some very special friendships here. I must admit that I share Darren Kranz's sentiment from his remarks last week that in all the years I've been relieved every year that I've not been asked to give this talk. It always seems like there are others much more qualified that should do this. However, my time is up, so here we are. As I struggled to figure out what to say to impress upon you the importance of being generous with your money, especially in a time when all of us are feeling the effects of rising costs, I did what any wise and sage intellectual would do. I Googled it. I typed, "Why should I give money to my church?" into the Google search bar. I wasn't exactly sure what I would find, but I was shocked to see so many responses that had to do with people's mistrust for where their money would end up if they gave it to a church. This led me to the realization that this is never something I have worried about at St. Timothy's. And boom, I had my angle. I was reminded that there was a time early in our marriage when Mike and I were not always regular and consistent church attenders. And sometimes on a Sunday morning, he would turn on the sermons of a televangelist named Jesse Duplantis. I don't know if any of you have watched him, but his tagline was, "The Word of God with a little Cajun flair," and he's very entertaining. And his sermons were interesting, and one of the sermons that Mike most remembers and I remember consisted of him challenging those who criticized his private jet and justifying why God wanted him to have it. Attending church here, it is very evident to me where our money goes, and that is to benefit the people of the St. Timothy's community, the West Des Moines community, and beyond. I have been blessed to be under the super hosting tutelage of one Sandra Marshall and have witnessed time and time again how our beautiful new kitchen facilities have been a blessing and comfort to those in times of both celebration and mourning. I have seen and heard about how the garden has provided healthy and much-needed food assistance to so many in our community. I have seen firsthand how St. Timothy's has supported wonderful programs like YJI, Women at the Well, and the Free Store. I have heard from Bishop Penny how our support of his community in South Sudan has been life-changing. As my family prayerfully considers what we will pledge to St. Timothy's this year, I consider myself lucky that worry about whether or not that money will be used appropriately won't even be part of the equation. We have trust in the church leadership to be good stewards of our money and to use it to be the hands, feet, and voice of God in our community. Thank you.